And we are back, and we're jumping right into. Um, we are just jumping right into our third segment, and we are going to be talking about some DIY arts and crafts at home, but with a purpose. We are talking about making do-it-yourself masks, and it's a great way to protect yourself from the COVID-19 epidemic and protect others as well. And it's also a fun activity you can do because you're probably at home right now as well. So here to explain how to do this is Christine Huang, who is an arts and crafts instructor with the Department of Youth Services, and she's also the creative arts teacher at St. Catherine's Academy. So good morning, Christine.
Hi, good morning. I'm so happy to have me here today. It's a project we started at the Department of Youth Services, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because everything started to go online, so we start to think of things that we can do at home and post online. And of course, the tutorials you can find on the device page or Facebook page. Yeah. So
Okay.
today we are doing the fabric mask.
Okay.
So there are some things to keep in mind. Um, Having masks doesn't mean you're 100% protected. These are only for like a supportive kind of protection. So you still keep your social distance. You still, the most important thing is that you wash your hands. And especially when you wear the mask outside, that you don't touch the front of your mask, because that's where the virus and the bacteria they get filtered or collected at the front. And also, um, the you also want to make sure that you're not suffocating yourself
Yeah.
with the mask, especially young children. They have to breathe through the fabric. So just some of those things to keep in mind. Wash it every day. If you go out, you come back home, take your mask off, and you wash it soap and water, and make sure it dries completely before you start wearing it again.
You said
So
something so interesting there. You said don't
yeah,
suffocate yourself with a mask.
yes,
So
because
material choice is important, right?
yeah, we are doing the the base material is your 100% cottons.
Okay.
So the quilter's cotton fabric is also an excellent choice. So you want a fabric with a high thread count. So that's how dense the how tight the fabric is woven.
Okay.
Okay.
And one way to check is to simply hold the fabric against a light source or the sun, and you will see if there are a lot of holes or the sun going through, the light going through. Then you don't want to use those, or
Okay.
you can just use more layers.
Layers. Okay.
Um,
Okay, so
and
if I can see a lot of light when I put the material
yeah,
up, I should probably
yeah,
do more than one layer of cloth.
mhm,
But if it's tighter,
yeah.
I may be fine with just one layer.
Or they recommend 2 layers
Okay.
Okay.
for the quilter's fabric.
Okay. All
And
right.
you
So
don't want spandex. Those are very bad for the virus.
all right. So let's see how it's done then.
All right, so the templates over here, I will teach you how to do the templates.
Okay.
But the goal that you want is to create a tight seal. So it's not going to be comfortable when you wear it because you want it to be tight, especially this area, this area. And a lot of people, when they wear the mask and there's like a huge opening over here, those are not effective. So if you can, when you after you wear a mask and you can breathe very easily, you need to fix the seal. What protects you is the seal around your face created by the mask. So this is the template. You have, this is the chin on the bottom, and that's the nose on the top.
Okay.
You'll notice the bottom is more round, and the nose part there you have this little like a hill or a little mountain. That's to create the seal. You'll notice this curve over here, and that's to let your eyes go through so it doesn't cover your eyes, right?
Yeah.
And still,
And
but
also
still cover
create
us, Still
this
cover as
little
much as
seal.
possible.
Yeah, but if you pull down, then there's a gap between the nose, right? So you want to have it up here, and this curve will help you to create this seal over here.
So that's right
So
like at the bridge of your nose.
yeah, and also this curve over here, depending on, because I have more or less a flat face, right? But if you have a more structured face, you might need to fix this part a little. You might want to go out a little more, down a little more. But this is the general shape.
So what you're saying is if your nose is bigger, you need a wider curve.
Maybe a little taller, I guess. Yeah, so this is a trial and error kind of thing.
Okay.
But this is the general shape. Your nose, your chin, and don't forget this little curve for your seal and eye.
Okay.
All right, and then you want this part to come on your chin, so you don't want it over your cheek. I mean, yeah. So when this pulls tight, it will close over here.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the general shape, and we will go into the details for. Or let me go through the material. So
Okay.
I will pull the camera down.
Okay. And we'll
I
see
think
you
that's
work.
Yeah. So over here I have my little sewing kit. So if you don't have a sewing machine, that's fine. This mask is not allowed to sewing. You can get away with just your needle and thread. You need, of course, your scissors, pen, all of those things, and bobby pin will work.
Okay.
And most importantly, your elastic.
Okay.
So there are many different kinds. It's the one kind. There's the string. What you want to make sure is you're not putting too much. Just wrap it around your ear and see if it is comfortable. You don't want too much pressure. But if you don't have those t-shirts, you cut out the t-shirts. Those will give you some elasticity too. Or like this, your tags.
Okay.
Right? All those you can use for alternatives.
So you can use elastic band, string, you can use jersey material from t-shirts, and you can also use those from tags that you wear. Or
what's good for a old makeup mask, you can throw the mask away, but before you do that, just salvage your elastic.
All right, yeah, that's
because I think
that's practical.
I had some difficulty getting some elastics recently because maybe people are buying them out. I'm not sure. All right, so first of all, we're doing, from my mask, I'm doing 4 layers.
4 layers, okay.
Yeah,
but
you can do just 2.
And exactly, minimum recommended is 2.
Yeah, so here's the fabric.
How much fabric is that? About a foot or a little bit more?
That depends on your template, right?
Oh, okay.
So this is the first 2 layers. So 1 and 2, and then we have 3.
Okay.
And 4. So right now, I'm just going to fold them in half. I'll fold this one in half. So I will explain how big the fabric you need is the template over here. So
you should make your template cut out first and then cut your fabric.
Yeah. So you just measure the height of measurement from your face, and then you start to trace the template. Okay. Now, what's special for the piece or the layer 1 and 2, the fabric for layer 1 has to be slightly longer than the rest of the layers. That's to create this little space, edge for your elastic. Right. So after put your template down, after you trace out when you cut, just make sure you do a little piece over here, an extra piece.
Okay.
All right, so let's pretend that I traced all of my fabric, and after after tracing, before you cut them out, you make sure you put you secure the layers with pins so they don't move around when you cut. And this is what I have cut out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is the layer 1 and 2,
1 and 2
and
okay.
3 and 4. So again, there are 2 pieces of fabric that has a bit of extra fabric over here, and the rest they're just cut out to the
exact
template.
shape. Okay.
Yeah. So after you cut out and you secured, you can take your needle, and the first thing we want to sew is to sew along this edge, the curved edge on the front. So if you don't have sewing machine, you can use the very basic running stitch. So running stitch is just going up and down. So
just
you
in and out, right?
in and out, like that.
Yeah.
And make sure you are not doing leaving a lot of gap like this. You want to do more tight. Yeah, smaller stitches, because you don't want to create the space, right? And you just sew through both of these pieces. And I have one here that's finished. So outside, there's a nose side and there's a chin side.
Okay.
So just use a marker or something to mark the nose side. So the nose side, again, you have the little mountain. So what you want to do next is to open. This is layer 1 and 2. Open like this, and this is the side. So that's the side that you sewed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to open it like this, and then open the other fabric as well, and line up the chin to chin, the nose to nose, and that's where you need your little marker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So chin to chin, nose to nose. Make sure the center line over here that they line up. And take your pin. And just start to secure your fabric together. And of course, you put pins here.
On the edges too?
Yeah, on the edges. Just however amount that is comfortable for you to secure your fabric so they don't move around when you sew. And the next thing, the next is you want to sew along the top here. And of course, secure the bottom as well.
So you're just going to stitch those together using the same stitch?
Yeah, or you just run it through your sewing machine.
Okay. All right.
And then this one is the finished. So you'll see from this.
Just from the
right?
strips to the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you can see the stitches running through. So there's 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And that's it. And after you have this, both of them are secured. You want to open the fabric. So remember, I have 4 layers over here.
Yeah.
And you want to find the opening and just flip your...
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how you get rid of all the stitches.
Yeah, that's how you hide them inside. So over here. All right.
So all that's left now is to put on the elastic?
Oh, we are going to make this. Remember the little handle or the little flap for the elastic. So now, of course, flatten it, iron a little if you want. Just take your time to flatten your fabric.
Okay.
So now you have all the stitches hidden inside. What we're going to do with the extra piece, so you see they will start to curve a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want to fold this edge and this edge down like this.
Okay.
Like that. So we're folding the edges inside. And then we're going to take this piece and fold it just right against the gray fabric over here. And then we are going to fold it again. Of course, there are different ways you can do this. It's just my way of doing it. And afterwards, you want to run stitch through this area over here.
Okay.
And that will give you like this, right?
Okay.
So after you run the stitch over here,
Yeah.
of course you will sew this edge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're making like a
Like the loop,
Yeah.
a hole for this.
So this over here, yeah, making a loop and then fold it and sew it over here. So then, after you make the loop, you want to take your bobby pin, take your elastic, put your elastic through this bobby pin, and use the bobby pin like a needle, and just pull the elastic through your little loop over there.
Okay.
Yeah, and this part is where you need to try to fit your mask onto your face. So of course, I'll teach you a way to make a knot. So you want to hold these two together and wrap it around your finger like this. So you're creating a loop. And then you take this end and fold it through that loop. And you don't want to tighten it yet. What you want to do is to
knot.
make a loose knot and then start to fit it on your ear. Of course, you're going to do it on both sides.
Yeah.
Just see the tightness for whatever works best for you. And after that, you can then tighten it.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then you do that on both sides. And afterwards, you have your homemade mask.
Yeah, that's the finished product.
All
And so you're
right.
looking for like a tight but comfortable fit.
Yeah.
So that was a lot more complex than I thought it was going to be. But I will say this much. If there's any stitch that people can learn, it will be the running stitch. Because
Yeah, the round
that's
stitch.
as easy as it gets when it comes to sewing. Christine, so you have been guiding people and doing some of these things online, right?
Yeah. We do already a lot of requests from people. They message us on Facebook, and of course we were just putting this together. And from our director, Miss Mackenzie, she was so encouraging, so supportive. She said, "Oh, just make a tutorial, take some pictures," and that's how we start to put these steps together. Because everything now is new. We're just trying to evolve, I guess.
Yeah.
Make
yeah.
our teaching plan fit whatever is the situation right now.
Well, we thank you so much for showing us how to create our own masks at home. I don't think you could have made it any easier for people,
Right.
especially if they have no sewing experience.
Like me.
Do you think you
Yeah,
can do that, Gavin?
I think I could.
Okay.
It looks, and these masks, of course, because they are fabric, you can, as you said in the beginning, you can wash them.
Yeah.
And you can reuse them, so they are your effort will pay off. They are a durable product.
Can I request one from you, Christine?
Yes, of course.
Do you guys sell them, or are you making for people?
Right now we're just making for friends.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why we show you how to make it, so you can make it at home.
Yeah,
We
so just
appreciate you.
the most important, just your template and fix your template to your face.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Yeah, thank you for having me here today.
All right. We are actually going to go ahead and take a break now, and when we come back, it'll be for kids time, so please stay tuned.